Hi, welcome to Stark Design. Stark was formed when 5 of us, who were all design graduates from NUS, decided to come back to Singapore kind of all at the same time after our careers and studies overseas to set up a design studio together. We were preferring to work as a team than to work individually, so we also thought that working together we could do more interesting things at a bigger scale, so that's why we set up Stark. The story behind name Stark is basically about taking things that are negative and turning them to be positive. So most of the time people think of the word Stark as something that's quite negative. So firstly, it becomes an interesting brand name because people remember it. When you look at it in its variations on how people use it, actually there is things like ideas that stick, right, which means good ideas, or stuck on you, which means I like you very much, right? There are things like that which represents for us how problems in design or problems in systems can actually become opportunities if you turn them around. So that's why we have this name Stark. The main reason to create like a whole collection of souvenirs largely was triggered by the whole SG50 celebrations, right? So as designers, we were wondering what was a good thing for us to do as to be part of the celebration. So in some sense, it was our contribution, right, to the national celebration. Most of the time, souvenirs are taken as things that are rather cheap, rather touristy, or just to make a quick buck. So they are objects that you tend to get sick of very quickly, and they tend to feel like low-value items. What we tried to do was to say, let's take this problem, let's turn it around. Let's make some things a bit more different this time, right? That souvenirs can be seen as almost object representations of the stories of our lives of Singaporeans. So that's what we did, and we tried to make them, you know, not gimmicky, not just to make tourist dollars. The team behind these products are mostly local. My co-founders, Lee Zeming, there's also Yong Jie-yu, right? They all have interesting products. Sometimes they do Singapore design products also, but there are also other team members who are very critical to the project. Cindy, some of you might see her other works under the name X Sports the Mark. So she does illustrations, so she did a lot of the work for the SG50 collection. Then we have other very crucial team members like Cheng Siu Ming, Lim Chi Yong. There was also Edwin Loh, who runs Super Mama, who helped to direct a lot of the general strategy behind the products and the intent as well. The biggest challenge would always be about guessing what would really resonate with people. We all have our own view of our own history, childhood, and we feel for certain things, right? How to know that exactly a large part of the population would feel the same way, you can only guess what most people would feel. Doing things in a producible way, in a cost-efficient way, it's always one of the big challenges for this collection, manufacturing challenge, because every time you add another color, another part is more expensive, right? And a doorstop, you are competing with things that you can buy for 50 cents. There are quite a number, I think about 12 products that are very, very popular. I will just start with the Malayan. I think the Malayan is just cute, yeah, frankly. Perhaps I think the locals enjoyed that twist, you know, where something that they didn't like at all suddenly became something that they like quite a lot. For that reason, that's why the sales were very high for that. There are another bunch of things, say like the water bottles sold very well, right? Like the jerry can, miniature bottle. personally like a lot is the void deck chess dish, just because personally my own childhood experiences and play was very much around this thing. So once in a while I chance upon it, I say, hey, you revisit some of these memories. I think that's why I like it a lot. The souvenirs business is kind of more or less a one-off thing for SG50 that just expresses our work in simpler, cuter objects. There isn't actual plans for Stuck itself to go into shops, but the products have been in shops. Not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts.